Sean Payton talking about how he's going to use RJ Harvey as a 3-down back. Use him a ton in the passing game. Talking about how in college the running back's not even closely incorporated into the offense like they are at the pro level. So many things will be implemented to get him on the field in a 3-down role. We love this kid. I know he's 24 years old. I know that scares the piss out of some dynasty owners out there, but the bottom line is Harvey has the skill set, the profile, the opportunity, the drive, the production, the track record, everything that you want in a kid to produce at the next level. 5'9", 208, second round draft capital, 22 rushing touchdowns in 2024, 16 in 2023, 1,500 yards on the ground, 1,400 yards on the ground. Some reception totals here that are pretty astoundingly impressive when you consider he had 5 TDs in less than 40 receptions. He's so capable in the receiving game. And again, we've said this before over and over, Sean Payton was gushing, quote unquote, gushing over the idea of getting him to fall into the second round. This is the guy he wanted. You could say all you want. Hampton went first round, draft capital. He's more valuable. I like Hampton. I'm not saying I don't love Hampton. I like Hampton. I like Hendy. I like Harvey. You know, Scattaboo, I'm a rookie running back connoisseur, as most of you are. You wouldn't have found yourself on this channel. But Harvey's going places.
Too much.
Specific places. And the Fantasy Football Show begins now.
FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
You can say whatever the hell you want about Harvey's 24-year-old age and the concern that unleashes in you in a dynasty, setting. But 24, plays 25, plays 26, plays 27, probably plays 28. That's 5 years. 5 years before you're really, especially starting late, I think you'll play well at 28. So that's 5 years before you're starting to hold your breath and say, okay, will he play great at his 6th year? Will he play great at his 7th year? The shelf life's a 4 to 5 year window anyway. I'm not really worried about it at all. And this is a potential gem in redraft going around 6 in your grandma league, in your non-best ball, your home league, your work league, your Aunt Edna's league. 6th, 7th round is where you're getting Harvey. In Dynasty rookie-only drafts, he's still going at 9, 10, 11, 12, sometimes 2.2. He's starting to climb. People are starting to realize what time it is. They're hearing the barking that I'm doing. They hear the hype build. And then, a lot of people will take from this channel. So other channels will talk about it soon and have been. But we've been beating the drum on this one for a while. Harvey is arguably as good in 2025 as Hampton, as Hendy, as anybody but Ashton Genty. He could be easily the number 2 running back in 2025 from a rookie perspective, from a 2025 redraft perspective. He could be every bit as good as Hampton and Hendy in a dynasty perspective as well. It's just people don't like 24 years old. It scares them. And I get why, but I'm here to tell you I don't care. So we're here to do it live. Does this count as last night's stream? You drafting. Last night's stream. We went live. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Justin. Justin, I appreciate your $2 holler, but I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. Clarify. I have no idea. You like Judkins, Matt? I don't blame you for liking Judkins too. I like Dylan Sampson better than Judkins, and Judkins has the leg up on him, but I mean, I look at Dylan Sampson and I just feel a very big playmaker and receiving back and an ultra committed piece of this receiving team, this receiving game in Cleveland. I really think Dylan Sampson is going to have a role, and that could limit Judkins into a one-trick pony. He's first, second. Sampson becomes the pass catching back. I like both of them, but yeah, this is a great running back rookie running back class, a great stable that you could literally build your entire team around in a sense. And we've done this over and over and over. We talked about Hampton in 3, Hendy in 4, Harvey in 5. Why not? Why not try this? Don't grab a running back in rounds 1 or 2. Go wide receiver, go wide receiver, go CeeDee Lamb and Brock Bowers. Go CeeDee Lamb, or if you've got a more of a tight, 1-2 turn type of situation, and you go Neighbors and London. Neighbors, London, Hampton, Hendy, Harvey. It's all worth trying. It's all worth exploring. It's all worth doing. So I love this news. And again, head coach Sean Payton going and getting Harvey, talking about how he's the every down back, looking at the data that I've presented over and over and over this offseason, the crazy stats where you're like, this kid averaged 12.5 yards per catch and 13.4 yards per catch in 2023 and 2024. He had 3 TDs in 2024, 2 TDs in 2023 and this is not a concern at all, you can see the bottom 2 rows, 19 and 20 receptions, under 40 receptions, 39 receptions. He had 238 and 267 with 5 TDs. If somebody says he didn't catch a lot in college, if someone actually utters those words, they don't know ball.
Take a big lap. We don't need your hating ass coming back now. Take a big lap. Take one and you don't come back.
If somebody says that Harvey did not catch a lot of passes or didn't prove to be a very good receiving back in college, you tell them this.
Hi, I'm worried William, and my mommy just warmed me up a Hot Pocket, and I've never even talked to a hot chick.
There's a lot of people that don't know what they're talking about. They hear something on the Vine. They hear something from another channel, and they repeat themselves over and over.
Hello.
They literally are a parrot.
He saw it on another channel. He's a repeating Roger.
Anytime a repeating Roger is in the chat, you see and identify somebody that's repeating, go. And you see someone identifying, or you identify them as a repeating Roger, then drop the parrot emoji and we'll know what's up. We'll know what's up, because so many people are like, oh, he doesn't catch well. What do you mean he doesn't catch well? What do you mean? What do you watch? What channel do you watch? Look, there's another thing. Let me move this over slightly. Look at if you want to know about Playmaker, look at this long column. 2024, 80-yard run. 2023, 92-yard run. 2022, 61-yard run. That's one of the most important things that you could even pull up and look at in this data. Look at the longs here. His long reception off of 20 receptions. He didn't have a big sample to pull from, and the guy had a 75-yard catch. The 2023 season, he pulled in 19 passes. He had a 50-yard catch. He is a playmaker. There's nothing anybody can say that can convince me otherwise. I don't care. If somebody says something bad about his situation or potential rise, then I don't want to know them. I don't want to know anything they say. They can shut their mouth. I don't ever want to hear them talk again. They obviously don't know what they're talking about. It's as dumb as saying the sun won't rise tomorrow. I don't want to hear another word out of that person's mouth, because I know everything they say is going to be moronic going forward. Anybody that thinks that this man can't do well, now, maybe you like somebody better. I'm not saying that you can't. I'm not saying you can't like Hampton better. I'm not saying you can't like Hendy better. Even if you like Judkins or Caleb Johnson better, that is okay. But it's when someone comes in and says something definitive, like Harvey's not going to make it because they don't know ball. They don't know ball. And simple. Plain and simple. We got super chats in the building here. Let's pull these over. I'll shoot you a $20 to hoop in my $10 12 man. Yeah. Let's. I mean, let's see, Justin. I'll take a look at it. We're getting into a weekly winner, and then I'll maybe draft at the end. We'll do that again if you want. All right. Let's real quickly open the phone lines, and then we'll discuss this topic and more, and then we'll get into a draft. Travis Hunter will start to roll on defense next week, so they're going to get him mixed in the defensive bag really soon, but he's going to be primarily wide receiver. Know that. And even if he goes to like a 60-40, not 60-40 divide of his entire time, but 60% offensive snaps, 40% defense, or 60%, 65% and 30%. It doesn't have to equal 100. These are completely different percentages. It's how much offensive snaps, 80%. It could be 80% and 80%. It could be 50% and 50%. It could be 100% and 20%. But regardless, the defensive side does not concern me at all. Not even a little. Mute yourself real quick, Justin. This is a guy that's going to be a potential top 12 wide receiver. Anybody that thinks it's impossible to for him to be better than BT on a rotational basis, not only weekly, but here one season BT's better than Hunter, the next season Hunter's better than BT. That is crazy talk. No one's saying it's going to be consistently that way. No one's saying that BT can't be number 2 and Hunter be number 4 or vice versa. I think that if we have that kind of production out of these two guys, we need to have a more detailed conversation about T Law, the Law Dog, because it's hard to imagine Trevor Lawrence not having a 40 or 38 touchdown season, or 30. Maybe the touchdowns aren't necessarily there for both players to the tune of T Law having a 40 touchdown season. And he doesn't have to have a 40 touchdown season. He can isolate these two guys out and say, let me give 12 of the touchdowns that I throw to BT, 12 of them to Travis Hunter. That's only 24 touchdowns. He doesn't have to have a 40 touchdown season. He could still have 33, 35 and just hyper focus on these two guys. And he did that with Ingram. He did that with BT. We know he can hyper focus on somebody or two players, Ingram as well. So there's certainly room for him to not be a top 5 quarterback, but still feed both these guys the kind of stats that put both of them in the top 12. One of which is in the top 5. The other one could be 8. It could be a 4 and a 9, a 4 and an 8. It's certainly possible. And it just comes down to how much other yards that potentially BT and Hunter get. I think Hunter could be used more on end arounds and jet sweeps than he obviously was used at the college level. I think he's such a dynamic player, and you've got a offensive mastermind in Liam Cohen that could use him that way. Don't just think he won't be used like that. I don't think they'll use him like that all the time. They don't want to get him hurt. He's already got exposed risk on defense, but I love this kid. I love this kid. Still on the Sanders tonight. Garrett, what would make me change my mind? Like, what do you think you have on this Sanders topic? You don't have nothing on this, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. You literally are just unable to accept that Sanders could be something. Have you heard me say he'll be a lock? No, Garrett, you haven't. Have you heard me say things like the Browns could screw this up? Everybody's already pushed Sanders down to the ground. It will be legendary if he can even recover and bounce back from the absolute disrespect that everybody's casted toward the kid. Did I say he'd be a lock, Garrett? No, I did not. In fact, I told you the exact opposite. I said this could be one of those things where the Browns brown here and screw it up, because the Browns are one of the worst organizations in the National Football League. So bad that they kept passing on Shedeur over and over. I don't know what Garrett's fixation is on anti-Shedeur Sanders. What makes you think he can't succeed, Garrett? What makes you think and haven't you been here long enough to know? Don't question your boy Smitty, okay? Garrett? Okay. Thanks, Garrett. All right, let me go over real quickly to this piece of news. James Cook, speaking at a celebrity poker tournament, James Cook declined to say whether he will hold out for a new contract. This tends to be one of those things where, look, he's doing his best to call a bluff of some, like, he's going to show up. You know, he doesn't have a lot of a lot of, ability to stand on this point at all. I mean, the guy's an outlier. His season was an outlier from last year. He couldn't score touchdowns in 2023 and before. And now all of a sudden he has this monster roughly 20 combined total season. And now he's what? He's some top 5 running back? I don't think so. And the Bills, maybe the Bills fold and pay him, but I think it'll be some sort of compromise contract that makes him happy, or he just shows up. But all we know is our boy, our midseason monster, Mr. Davis, is ready to rumble if need be. Ray Davis down at the bottom here. We've got Natootin and Bigsby boys, Sharps, Mason, Milrow, Milton. What a midseason monster crew indeed. And then this piece of news right here. Look, Jackson Dart looks pretty good. Shador looks good in camp. It's just camp. We can't get too excited. They're in shorts, but Dart and Shador are both throwing some nice footballs. They look really good. Dart is in a great spot with a great, offensive quarterback mind in Dable, and he's got Malik Neighbors to catch the football. So Dart's in a good spot. I think he could really progress. He could really have a really nice progression here. Been here since the beginning. That love, says Garrett. Well, Garrett, I don't know what your fixation is on Sanders, though. Like, Garrett, do you know that it bothers me, even though I definitely, go at you, and when someone, says something like you've been saying the past couple days, it really does go off the shoulder. It may not seem like it because your boy's animated, and I'll defend myself. I won't sit here like a worried William and let someone just bark and mouth off, even if you're super chatting, Garrett, like you. But if I had $1 for every time somebody came at me for the predictions that were very much worse than this one in your mind of Shador being capable, not a lock, Garrett, but capable of being everything I think he could be if he's supported and given the opportunity. Like, do you think if I had $1 for every time somebody said Achan's gonna suck, you'll see Smitty, or Penix Jr. is not going in the first round, or top 10, you'll see Smitty, or Penix Jr. will fail, or Bo Nix will fail. If I had $1, or JD5's too small, he's going to get hurt. Don't you see the bump on his elbow? Teams are not really wanting to draft him because he has a bursa sack. Like, do you mind how rich I'd be if I had $1 for every time someone came at me in this little frivolous little type of commentary? Garrett, appreciate you, but you're not getting anywhere. I know you think you are. Okay, he says just banter. I like the banter. I got you. Well, I mean, you're poking the bear. You're gonna get a roar. Okay, that's all the news we have really right now. 3 down back. Harvey going to mother freaking Mars.
To Mars.
Saturn. Where is he at the Mars man list?
He's on a shuttle to Mars. Mars man.
Is he
the Saturn men?
Saturn.
One small step for man, one giant leap for Saturn.
He's on the Saturn list. I mean, he's deserving
To Saturn.
to the Saturn list because his value
Stock on the rise.
going crazy. His stock value might split. I'm drafting Harvey. The question is not how many times am I drafting him. My ownership of Harvey is something around the 40-50% mark, I think, on the new drafts. The new ADP generated from the Best Ball Mania, the Puppy, the Schnauzer, the weekly winners. It's somewhere combo in the 40 to 50% ownership. The only thing is I can't always get them because you either have to take them too early or you try and punt it a little bit, or you have a pick that doesn't get you the right. So I can't get like a 70% clip, which I would gladly do. But my ownership is high. The only question is not how often will I draft him, which is nearly every time I see him around 6 every time. But how high will I go? Like, will I go 4 or 5 turn? We kind of did it the other night. I took him at the 5.1, I think, when we had the 1 spot, I believe. So that's where his ADP's climbed. We didn't want to do it. We had some of you drafting him there when he was still like 70 overall, 69 overall, very much further downstream. But now he's climbing into the 5.1 to 5.5 territory. He's worth every penny. He really is. This could be a top 8 running back. Could be a top 5 to 10 running back. I think the respect needs to be given top 5 to 10. I think you say top 8, it's not as bold. You say top 5 to 10, then you start going, well, he could beat out all those running backs, Smitty? Absolutely. Love the kid. So talented. Go ahead, Justin. You're live, and then Travis. And then we'll get into a weekly. In fact, real quickly, guys, go to weekly winners. For those that don't have Underdog, make sure you click this link right here. I'm going to drop it in the live chat. It's pinned in the live chat. There's the link. Code Smitty gets it done. Code Smitty will get you up to 1,000 in bonus credit depending on how much you drop. But we're going to go into a weekly winner. So you just go to the originals tab. They've changed the app a little bit. I always just click on active and then lobby there. And then from there, you can click the NFL tab. And then you're going to go down to weekly winners, which is a $10 entry. Click the 20-second one. We don't do 30-second, Aaron. I'm sorry. When there's 20-second available, we do 20-second. That's just, it's for the sake of the damn show. It just goes so much smoother, quicker. 7 more spots. Jump into the 20-second. Do it live. Justin, you're live. Then Travis, go.
No, I mean, I think R.J. Harvey's great value. Sean Payton hates J.J. McLaughlin or whatever. Like, he doesn't really, well, he doesn't hate him, but he doesn't use him. Estimate's kind of had his time. Like, I don't understand the controversy around Harvey. I think he's, like, the guy there.
There's not really a controversy. I think just people are lower on him than we are, and then now they're starting to climb. And for the one question is, don't you want to wait for the schedules before you do weekly winners? We haven't done any yet. So the answer is kind of yes, Runner. We are, but we have a lot of requests for it, so I'm going to oblige. So we're doing a weekly winner tonight. But I think that...
Why schedules help that? I don't know.
Well, a lot of weekly winner strategies are based around schedule. Bye weeks, trying to slam a week 5 win, trying to go into Bye-Mageddon. There's a lot of people that take advantage of that kind of thing. So it does make sense, but real quickly, let me just go over to the draft board. I think I got, what pick did I get? Damn it. I always get the 11 or 12. You got to be kidding me, man. You got to be kidding me. I'm always 11 or 12. It's unreal. Whenever I draft without you guys, I'm not, though, which is nice. But whenever I do a live stream, it's like 80% of the time it's 11 or 12, which, I mean, it can be good, but it's like the worst pick to be in a Snipe City environment just because of the way you guys freaking draft these guys too early. Try to go with ADP. Take advantage of ADP. Manipulate it. Don't drop a freaking Harvey in round 3 type of selection on us. Lamb will always go like top 3 in our community. And of course, there he is. Okay, go ahead, Justin.
No, I mean, that's all I kind of had. That's all I kind of had.
All right, Travis, you're live.
Hey, what's up?
Yo.
Yeah, it's always good to see guys do well in, the rookie camps, and, it's just take one step at a time. Remember, though, Kenny Pickett looked like Joe Montana on preseason, So we kind of just got to see each step of the way, and I think Shador will be fine. I don't know how Dart will end up doing.
Yeah, Dart is still like
good for neighbors.
Dart, I still have reservations about as a prospect. I don't think he was as good a prospect as Shador. And people can laugh all they want. I could care less. You don't think I heard that about JD5 and Penix and Bo Nix over and over? I could care less what anybody thinks. I speak my mind. Let me make this pick real quick. I always get Puka here, bro. I don't hate it, but it's just I can't ever draft any team but a Puka team when we draft together because there's just no one's gonna fall. I think Dart has the much better situation though, much better. Obviously. So Dart, situation's king, environment is king, your coach is king. So I'm real intrigued. Let's see. This is weekly winners. Should I go McCaffrey here? Just in weekly winners? I don't know.
Weekly. Yeah.
No, I'll go H-Chan. I'll go H-Chan. Yeah, it is one where I would take McCaffrey. This is the only format I'll take McCaffrey in. McCaffrey's a complete avoid. But in weekly winners, it's not a bad idea to have a couple shares. But nobody, in my opinion, should be taking McCaffrey anywhere in a non-weekly winner best ball or non-best ball or your home league or anything like that at this territory. But it's not bad here. But I still have Achane can pop as well. Puka. The other thing too about this format, I don't mind Puka because if he gets hurt, he gets hurt. If Achane gets hurt, he gets hurt. So I have plenty of weeks of Puka and Achane to pop off together. So I'm fine with it. But yeah, it's definitely the time I almost took Henry in CMC. Just because I don't have any of that in weekly winners. It's great because you can toy around with it. I'm sorry, go ahead, Travis. I was just saying that I think Jackson Dart with Neighbors, with Dable, is such a better situation than Shador's, especially being down and out and kicked to the ground right now. I mean, of course, Dart could develop, but I still, from a prospect level, I didn't love him as much. But I like... He's looking good. He sounds very smart. Dable was super impressed with his interview. He hit a home run during his interview. So all those things matter.
I think it'll be a good test for Dayball, too, because clearly Dayball helped Josh Allen. And on the other side of the coin, I don't know that anyone was going to help Daniel Jones. But it'll kind of, give us a little more measure of how good Dayball really is. Good at picking QBs, and he good at developing them. He had to have had some say on Dart, because he could have taken Shador, instead of Dart. And they chose Dart.
Well, yeah, I think Dart. And again, I'm not trying to suggest that Dion didn't tell his son to go in and be lackadaisical during the Giants interview because they thought they had the world waiting for him. And that's the sad part about Shador's situation, is that there probably is a lot of truth to some of that, right? And then this kid's just pressured by his dad. And you could say that shows bad quality, leadership and all that. And you'd be right that there's some concern there. And I get all that. But I just think that look at how different Shador is right now already. Carries himself very well. He's very humble, no matter what anybody wants to say. He is. Watch the damn interview. I don't need to explain everything to every one of you Shador haters in the comments. I see the comment all the time. Humble? Oh, when, Smitty? Humble. Do your own research. Watch your own TV. I don't even need to discuss it with anybody that doesn't understand what the hell's going on. I'm not saying he's a lock by any means, but if you don't think he looks different up in front of a bunch of cameras and media, then you aren't watching. You're not paying attention at all. He's so humble right now. I don't care about what the legendary and all the stuff that he did around his dad when his dad had him by a noose, bro. It's so wild to me how ridiculous people are on this topic. Just so ridiculous. Hold on one second. I'm on the clock here. My team is Achane, Puka. I'm going to go Garrett here. I like Garrett Wilson here. Garrett Wilson, Puka, Achane, doing it live. Yeah, there's so many haters, bro. They're just so committed to. They're so committed. They're not open-minded. They can't even admit that Shador looks different. They can't admit he looks humble right now. They can't. They have no ability to admit it. Zero. I'll go Hurts here. Yeah. Quarterbacks go early in this format. It's a good team right there in weeklies. Hurts, Von Achane, Puka, and Garrett Wilson. I like that. Go ahead, Travis.
I was going to say on the estimate thing, obviously he's not the number one. In terms of the number two there, he's young. He's only 21, and he didn't have a huge chance last year. But he's not real fast. He's not he doesn't stand out anywhere. And I believe, I could be wrong, someone check me if I'm wrong, I believe in the wild card game, Sean Payton benched him for Tyler Beatty when Beatty came back from his injury. And Tyler Beatty actually looked good for a couple games last year. So
I'm not
Beatty
even.
could end up being the number two there.
I don't even feel that need to discuss the estimate. That's how much I don't care about estimate. Would I cuff? Probably not, because we've already seen estimate get a shot and he just rotated. If, let's say, Harvey went down, we already know what McVay's going to do. He already did it. He's rotated 3 guys.
Right.
I have zero interest in cuffing Harvey. Zero. Give me Sharps. Give me where those guys are going. Give me Sharps. Give me a Dylan Sampson. Give me a Sean Tucker. Let's say my other running back is Bucky. There's so many examples I could give you. Give me Fannin at tight end 2, or tight end 3 in a best ball. Crazy, man. The one slot went double QB, bully QB, and weeklies, which I don't really like at all. I toyed around with this idea last year. It didn't serve well, and there's some, you could argue in weeklies that bully could work, but the thing about weeklies is the optimal scoring of bully QB serves you so well on 17 games where you're trying to outscore your opponents at the quarterback position for the entirety of the season. So if, let's say this is you having Josh Allen, let's call this 100%, or let's call this QB1, and we'll call this QB12. So let's say Josh Allen is like this all year on this graph, and you're trying to get a Jaden Daniels and a bully QB you're trying to go like this. You're trying to go like this and capitalize on those dips and end up having, instead of let's just call it for easy math, 350 total points for Josh Allen. You end up having scored in 17 play games 425. Like, that's the goal. But in weeklies, you really are trying to have everybody come together at once, and you don't need that longevity on the season bully QB style of assistance to try and outscore everybody. You really just are going to bank on Josh Allen having that game and then having that extra piece you could have got instead of Jaden Daniels to pop off with him. I don't think it's a smart move at all. Let's go, Debo. I don't think it's a smart move at all to go bully QB in weekly.
Just to clarify, you're just talking bully QB, right? You still take multiple QBs.
Oh, of course, of course.
Yeah, because I know some people have asked that. It seems like almost every time we do weeklies, someone asks about only taking one QB or should they take a couple.
Yeah. But, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to dilute your ability to have a pop week when Josh Allen's 80 or 70% of the time going to do what he needs to do over the quarterback you draft anyway. So just
right. And especially like you said, you want those position players, and that one elite QB is likely to outscore someone. And then if you take a guy later on, whether it's a Dak or someone else, they're just as likely to have the best week of everyone.
Yeah, you just grab a guy you like that much, like Dak. I like Dak a lot. So Hurts, Achane, I like Monty a lot in weeklies because he's always capable of having a 2 TD game. So Achane, Monty, Hurts, Nakua, Garrett Wilson, Debo, really solid squad for weekly winners. And again, for those that don't know, weekly winners is where no week is added to the other weeks. It's all independent 17. Think of it like 17 individual leagues that are 1 week in length. Week 1, week 2, week 3, everything is an independent league with 20K on the line. The only thing is you can't redraft. You're drafting one team, trying to project that this would be the best possible lineup for you in this kind of format where each week is independent, reset. Week 3, doesn't matter what happened in week 2. You could literally have your entire team suspended or injured except for week 17. And they all come back in week 17. And as long as you have the highest score out of the 200,000 people or 300, whatever it ends up being, you get 20K. Second place, I believe, is 10K, I think it is. David Montgomery. I don't know what the question's about with David Montgomery. Aaron.
He meant Singletary. in New York, you think?
Who did
Singletary's
what?
Supposed to be the starter.
Wait, what?
Someone was asking if Singletary was supposed to be the starting running back in New York.
Huh. I don't know. I don't know what anybody's talking
I don't
about.
know.
Singletary. He, God rest his fantasy soul, is no longer with us in fantasy. Yeah, I think this team's pretty solid. I don't know what I'm going to do next. I don't really want to show my hand too much, but I have a couple of tricks up my sleeve here. We'll see. Phone line's open. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
I do have 2 super chats that I need to get to. I apologize. I'll answer these in order in which they're received right away. Oh no, I think I already handled them. Garrett's last one. I put him on the screen. I don't want him to think I won't. Sanders is just mid. Feels different. Okay. Thanks, Garrett. Appreciate you.
Establish that.
What I love more than anything was when somebody disagrees with my opinion, like how they act like I am not telling Garrett that he's going to succeed. Garrett's hearing that. So I think Garrett, in his mind, even though we're prepping him right now, thinks he can come back if Shedeur fails and say, "Told you." No, you're not going to get any credit for that. The thing is, I wouldn't come at you and say he's for sure going to do it like you're saying he's for sure mid. It's just such a freaking different. Man, Fields. I was really wanting to pair Fields in this weeklies with Garrett Wilson, but that's right. That's right. I still like a few other players a lot here. Weeklies, I don't know. I mean, stacking is good, but it's not necessarily needed, and it's always beneficial. I'm gonna, because we're in Snipe City and I know Tebow's gonna take him, I'm going Cam Scattaboo here now because the players that I want here will wait, and I know Tebow's gonna try and snipe me there, or he could. So rather than just reach next pick, I'm gonna reach now. And he did go RB, so I bet Tebow. Tebow, you can confirm that you were gonna go Scattaboo, or was I wrong?
Would you say stacking in weekly?
Oh, sorry, Travis. Cut Travis off real quickly. I'm sorry,
Travis.
Travis.
There are weeks where.
Repeat yourself one more time. I'm sorry. I merged Rock out in. Rock out, mute yourself real quickly if you could. Go ahead, Travis.
No, I was just saying, would you say that stacking in weeklies is almost not necessary at all? Like, obviously, 2 guys on the same team can go off on the same week. They do sometimes, but the chances of that happening, fairly slim, right?
I don't know that I'd say it's unnecessary. I'd say that the same concept applies. What you're trying to do with stacks, if anybody that wants to know the theory in best ball as to why. Like, why would you want to stack in best ball and not in non-best ball? Or stacking in best ball is okay, but it's not as essential. And the reason is, number one, the whole thinking is that you have less things you need to get right when you're on this grand scale of hundreds of thousands of people competing with you. So the thinking is, if Burrow goes nuts, then you are in it. If he doesn't, you're not in it. And even if you had other players that did well and Burrow, let's say, doesn't do well, but you have all these other players that you didn't stack that are doing well, like non-Chase, non-Higgins, etc., but they all do well, you're still, because you're playing with 100,000 people, this right here is just, it already takes you out, like, in a way. Unless you got a really good quarterback. Let's say you got Dak that popped off and was QB1 that week, and then you're fine or whatever. But essentially, you're also trying to think of this for week 17. It's like the week 17 correlations, the week 17 stacks. You're wanting to have the least amount go wrong and the most amount to go right together. So if Burrow goes nuts, which he did in week 17, and the winner of Best Ball Mania of the millions of dollars had Higgins, had Burrow, and had Jamar Chase on the team. This is the winner. So stacking is both proven to work and both proven not to work. It just depends on what year you look at. But real quickly, hold on. So Chase did badly. Higgins was insane, like wide receiver 1. Chase wasn't even used in his lineup, the guy that won Best Ball Mania. And he won Best Ball Mania because he had Burrow, Higgins, and Chase Brown. So he had the entire team stacked. And it was such a good surrounding team with it that it carried it through to each round. So as long as you get through, you have a good enough team to make it through round 1. Or to make it to round the playoffs, so weeks 1 through 14, and you got a good supporting cast. The stacking doesn't really hurt you too much as things go astray or down. You know, if Burrow has a bad game, you still got other players that support you. But once you get into those 3 playoff weeks, you're trying to literally get, you know, in a sense, lucky that the group that you have goes crazy together, so that you can maximize your opportunities and minimize your downfalls. So, but in weeklies, to answer your question, in weeklies, that concept still applies. Like from a weekly perspective, if you have Burrow go nuts, you have less things you need to get right for that one moment in time. But I would say that because any one player, like we love Scattaboo, for example, he could pop off and it might not be as relevant because you don't need it for week 17. You don't need it you're literally trying to have it all come together at one moment.
Yeah, and I probably should have specified a little better too. I guess I was more so talking about like, would you do a like full-on stack? Like say like if you take DK and you take CeeDee Lamb, do you want to take Pickens as well, or would you leave the secondary guy out of like a pancake stack, triple stack, whatever?
It's tough because it's tough because you have Higgins and Chase and Burrow just proved that it won Best Ball Mania. So when one was down, the other was up. But you have to do a lot of other great drafting around that because
weeklies though, it's the same for weeklies for you.
Case by case. Is Pickens and Lamb likely to blow up together? I think it's possible. The reason I'd say that, hold on real quickly. I love Luther Burden in this format for some reason. Luther Burden could have been the number 2. He could have been the first wide receiver on my rankings for rookies incoming long term had he landed in a different spot. I still think he's so good that he'll do well here. I think he could be, by the end of the year, the number 1 wide receiver, playing like the number 1 wide receiver, like the final 5 weeks of the season. He could be playing like the number 1 in Chicago. I just hate Chicago, but he's so good in weeklies. I like this. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Travis.
No. That was just my question. Like, do you look at it the same in weeklies with the like full triple stack of guys like Chase Higgins and Burrow, or picking CD and Dak? Like, does that change? And do you take the full stack in weeklies or not?
Not running back, but would I take Pickens and Lamb and Dak? It depends on so many variables. Cost of entry. Is it a high octane offense? Can it be top 5 offense? Cincinnati, top 5, has an elite quarterback. Dallas has I don't want to call him elite because people get so mad, but he's capable of playing elite. And Dak Prescott, you have situation, you have high octane offense. So these both qualify. So Dak, Pickens, but then you
Green Bay, maybe not.
The Green Bay, no. But then you got to also consider cost of entry. They could also make a not so great situation look better, and you could do it there. But Cincinnati, you're talking about, because you have to factor in cost of entry. You're talking about Jamar Chase in round 1. You're talking about Higgins in round 2. You're talking about Burrow in round 4. In weeklies, even higher. Burrow's going to go higher. So then you got to ask yourself, well, wait a minute. This year might not be as advantageous. I'm not saying it's a for sure X for me, but it's a hard thing to accomplish because how do you do what the guy that won Best Ball Mania last year, how do you do what he did, which is surround this really sleeping, giant tripod with other great players? So with Burrow going probably 3 in weeklies, with Higgins going 2, and with Jamar Chase going 1, you have literally just your 4th, your 5th, your 6th rounders to surround this team with, and it makes it a lot harder to do. Dallas, and I'm not saying I wouldn't do it, it's still potentially a check mark for me. But Dallas, you're getting Dak in the 9-10 round range. You're getting CeeDee Lamb in round 1, and you're getting Pickens in probably like 6 or wherever he's going. Where did he go in this draft? Pickens went at the sixth round. The beginning of the sixth round. So you're talking about a 1, a 6, and a 10. This is what Burrow, Jamar Chase, Higgins, and Chase Brown costed back in 2024. So this is actually the more secret sauce recipe for pulling off what was done last year, because the cost of entry allows you to have a second rounder, a third rounder, a fourth rounder, a fifth rounder to also add with Dak, CeeDee Lamb, and Pickens. Whereas this gives you just a fourth, a fifth, and a sixth rounder to add the Higgins, Joe Burrow, and Jamar Chase. So it's much more advantageous to find the stack before it costs a lot. Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison Jr., Michael Wilson Jr., like those are really, that's a little bit more attractive. Benson as well. And then you literally are risking nothing, because you're risking even less than probably this stack, because you're only spending for the Marvin Harrison Jr. That's it. And that's a third rounder. So you got a first rounder, a second rounder, a fourth rounder, a fifth rounder, all to compile with Kyler, MHJ, Michael Wilson Jr., and Benson. So those are more advantageous stacks because they're cheaper. Hold on, I'm on the clock real quick. Hold on. Jack Bash, maybe. I kind of waited too long on tight end, but that's okay. Kind of have some ideas that I could try and deploy with that, but I definitely waited too long on tight end. I got Jake Ferguson there. Goddard's not bad. I do have Hurts. I'll do that. Having Hurts and Goddard's nice. Don't have a lot of stacks going on anyway, so that'll work. But yeah, good question. Sorry, I didn't have the screen up when I did that. Good question. I took Goddard. I took Jack Besh. I got Luther Burden. I got my team's the far right. Zach Charbonnet, Kyler, Cam Scatterboo, David Montgomery, Debo, Jalen Hurts, Garrett Wilson, Achane, and Puka. It's a really good weeklies team. But it's a good question. A lot of people have it. Perps dropping a $5 hauler. Chat, please remember to wipe your feet at the door. 200 people in here and only 55 thumbs up. Show Smitty some love. It helps the channel. Thank you, Perps, for dropping that super chat, you monster. Are you still in there, Perps? Appreciate you, bro. Go ahead, Travis, what else you had, and then I'll go back to Justin.
No, I go Justin and Rock Out, too, if he's there.
Oh, yeah, Rock Out. Rock Out. Rock Out. Go ahead real quick, and then Justin.
You sniped me hardcore.
Are you in here?
With Charbonnet.
Oh, sorry, Rock Out. I didn't know you were even in here. I didn't get a chance to look at who was in the draft. I try not to because I don't want to.
Would you try? Where would you take Jameson Williams, like in the fifth?
Jameson Williams, personally,
yeah.
I mean, I like Harvey better than him. I like Henderson better than him. I like Mahomes better than him. I like Laporta better. I literally like all four of the players in round 5 more than him right now already. I like Walker a tiny bit better. Kamara, Debo are obviously very interesting. Mute yourself real quick, Rock Out, while I'm talking, and then when you got to talk on mute, but it's just too much reverb. Sorry, bro. I don't know. I guess top of 6. I like J-Mo top of 6. I can't stand him in the... I don't know why he's fallen, though, because he was going in the 3rd to 4th round turn, and I was losing my mind for weeks, and then now he's back in round 5. I don't know what happened there.
Tesla. That's what the Tesla code.
The Tesla? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what made people drop their value. I mean, I was screaming it was a mistake. You don't take him in the 3rd round. There are people taking him in the 3rd round at like the 3.12. It was insane. And his ADP climbed pre-NFL draft date. Tesla, can't imagine Tesla takes that much from him, but I guess people are worried about it. They should be. I mean, you got no Ben Johnson. I mean, J-Mo in the 3rd was like almost stupid. But I like him in 5. I'm not going to say I wouldn't take him there. But this is like not even a second option on the team. You know, people have to realize that it's not the best move to take a guy that's not even the number 2 option for his quarterback at like your 4th drafted player value or something along those lines. If you're talking around 6, I start to get intrigued. You talk end of 5, I'm listening, but I don't know that I'm acting. I feel like this is I'm going to go Stafford here. I got Puka, so I got Stafford and Puka. I always come around on stacks like where it looks like I'm not stacking anything, but there's always creative ways to, especially this, what I coined as a sub stack, where you're getting your star player in Puka and you're getting one of your, it doesn't have to be your number 2 quarterback, but one of your quarterbacks is Stafford. Or if I had MHJ, I got Kyler, but he's my my number 2 quarterback. So I've got Puka and Stafford. I've got Hurts and Goddard. Not bad. Not bad at all. Running stable looks really nice. I suppose I could go with... I'm going to time out here. I'll go Mason Taylor because I was going to time out. I need a backup tight end. Goddard, Mason Taylor. Not my favorite tight end stable, but it's pretty good. I mean, Puka, Garrett Wilson, and Debo is insane. Besh is my 5th wide receiver. Burden is my 4th. Achane, Monty, Scat, and Sharbs. Hurts, Kyler, Stafford. Pretty good. I like this weekly team. Let's see what you got, Rockout. You got Malik Neighbors. This is the far right team is Rockouts. Malik Neighbors, AJ Brown. I don't think I've seen you go wide receiver in a while. Chase Brown, Rashee Rice, Kenneth Walker, Jawan Jennings. I'm sorry about the Charbonnet. I almost don't even look who's in the draft sometimes because I don't want to be influenced not to take somebody. So I would have felt bad when Charbonnet was there. Jawan Jennings, Mark Andrews, Ricky Pearsall, Brian Robinson Jr., Drake May, Michael Penix. I like the Michael Penix pick. Kyle Williams. I like that pick. It's good, bro. It's different than you've normally drafted. If Walker, I think this all is contingent upon Walker. You need Chase Brown and Walker to be top 10 running backs. If so, you could have any one given week where this all comes together. I'm sure you're trying to get Mahomes, probably, right?
Those guys are good in weekly. I like that combo in weekly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nice trade. You got super chat. Trade the guy made.
Hold on. I got thank you, Ship, for the dollar hauler. Appreciate you. And then we got the Matt super chat. You talking about Matt's? Got Rice for JMO in the second. Thank you, Matt. Got Rice for JMO and a second round pick. Let's go. I like that. I like JMO a lot, but Rice is more of a chance of being the number 1 for his team. And in my opinion, and I could care less, I literally could care less what anybody thinks. Mahomes and the Chiefs are a much better long-term passing attack than the Detroit Lions. Ben Johnson's not there. It could fold at any moment. Goff is not the same player without Ben Johnson. I'm sorry. And how long is he gonna be in this position anyway? We don't even know. 2 years from now, they could be looking to move on from Goff because it all falls apart. Mahomes is so doubted. I love it. I love it. I hope everyone hates Mahomes this year. It's insane. Aaron, what was your team?
He's the Bijan.
I will say to Matt's point here. I'm sorry, Travis. Bijan what?
You're saying who Aaron's team was?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah. What?
Yeah, it starts with Bijan.
Starts with Bijan. Okay. To Matt's point here that JMO can pop off for 90 and a TD at any time. I do agree with that, and that's why he's a better pick in weeklies than in non-weeklies. But in like normal best ball non-weekly format, I don't like his value at all. And it doesn't mean I still take JMO just because he's capable of that. A lot of players are capable of 90 and a touch at that same territory. Debo's capable of 100 total yards and a touch. You know, I'd rather have Debo in some contexts, like drafting him a lot later and then taking like a Harvey or somebody where you have to take JMO. So it just comes down to a lot of those different factors. Okay, so we're getting close to the end of this draft. Oh, bro, I'm gonna time out. Achan, Monty. Maybe I'll go Jalen Wright here. I haven't drafted much Jalen Wright at all, but I have Achan. It's a nice like safeguard move in case everything goes crazy by design and then Achan's out though and Wright has 2 touchdowns and 100 yards or something. But you know, we'll see what I end up doing here. I mean, the question is, do I like take Ollie Gordon later or something like that? I don't even know that I will. He goes undrafted essentially, but it might not be a bad move for my specific team. Yeah, Stewart, there's a lot of negativity right now about the Bengals and Stewart and the defense and what's going to happen, but it's still early. It's not ideal. You know, it sounds like look, first of all, the rookie contracts are structured to a degree that like there's not much going on but the bonus. It's like a camp bonus, I think, problem. So I think it'll be worked out. Stewart will be out there. The thing you got to remember is with these things, it's water under the bridge as soon as they get settled with it. The problem is you don't want them to miss too much. You don't want them to get hurt. So you got to make sure that this thing doesn't linger until like June 1. But anything in May, I'm not that alarmed of, as long as he's there in a little bit of time.
Yeah, we were just talking about the Bengals draft because it could be a little make or break for them because they took all defensive guys and offensive tackles, which they need on both sides there. So if a couple of other guys being out could work well for them, but I thought they could be in a little trouble.
Kenny says, you're not making any sense, bro. It's kind of sloppy here. He's like, I'm stuck here for 5 years. What do you mean stuck here? With a Super Bowl contending team led by Joseph cigar-smoking Burrow with one of the most potent offenses in the National Football League, with a defense that can easily be rebuilt over several drafts and off seasons. It's not like everybody comes together here. This is their one shot to build it. You got 4 or 5 years of excellence at the offensive side of this thing to build it up. Like, I don't know what you're talking about there, Kenny. It's such a Niner thing of you to say. You're so very Niner. Everything is so slanted toward the Niner. Your Niners are in the worst shape I've ever seen them in 2 decades. I don't know what would make you think that the Niners or that the Bengals wouldn't be an amazing place to be. God, that's a great place to be. Come on, Kenny, you can do better than that. You guys literally took, and I admit he looks pretty good. It's early, but your Michael Williams pick was so early. He looks good. He does look good, but your entire fan base hated him. They're like, "What are we doing?" Rock out, taking Shador, making a statement. Let's go.
Beating the Bengals so many times. We specialize in beating them in the Super Bowl. Well, that's in the past.
I love how he
takes in the past. But
I love how he takes a Niners slant, like the Niners have a good situation this year.
I love the Niners.
That's hilarious. Let's go, Pat Bryant, and then let's see here, Goddard, Mason Taylor. I don't know. Do I go Ollie Gordon to complete the Achan Jalen Wright situation, or do I go Fannin?
You have 2 tight ends right now?
Yeah.
How many RBs? Guess if you're light on RBs, otherwise Shannon.
I'm pretty good at RB.
Shannon probably more likely to blow up, but you're a little short of these.
RBs are solid. I got Achan, Monty, Scat, Sharps, and Wright. I'm okay. I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of tough.
That's not bad.
Goddard's injury prone. Mason.
Sweetleys too.
Yeah, Mason
You don't need
Taylor's.
it.
I think I had more of a hole at tight end because Goddard's capability of getting injured all year. Got a $20 hauler here.
No.
Holiday. Thank you for the $20 hauler, my boy. I still got to create your song, my guy.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Holiday. Thank you, my boy. Dropping a 20 watt like a monster. Have you ever been to Cincinnati?
Are there any players in weeklies that go like quite a bit higher in ADP, or does it just shift half around here or there?
The top 5 quarterbacks.
Yeah, the quarterbacks fly up the board. Here, I'll show you the board. So, like, Lamar went 2.1.
I think Lamar was like 16th overall.
No,
Lamar
he's
was like 16th overall.
He was 13th. So, he went 13. You had...
ADP like 16,
oh,
I think,
yeah.
though, right?
Yeah. JD5 goes in the third round, like top of round 3. And it changes a little bit. They're also, like Derrick Henry and CMC and those guys have higher ADPs. It's just, you think about logically, like what players are a little bit of an injury concern. Those players are the ones that'll go. Okay, Justin, you wanted to do a $20 super chat to do a $10 12-man. Is that right?
Yeah, $20 super chat to do a $10 12-man. And I'm already in the 12-man, so I can just wait for you if you're ready to go.
12-man, not slow draft, $10. 12-man,
yeah,
not slow draft. There's 5 in there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, go to this draft right here. As you can see, when you do these, first place is $64, but they add up. You do a lot of these, and they add up. So this is a 12-man, $10, 5 entrants in it. Oh, I have to go from. Hold on.
How do you like Noah Gray in weeklies?
I like him with Kelsey every time in weeklies, sure.
How do you like him solo? Because I just took him solo in weeklies because like I was down at the bottom. And I was like, this all kind of feels like uninspiring. So it doesn't.
Yeah, I'm not big on him in a solo, and if I don't own, if I don't have Kelsey, am I truly intrigued. All right, guys, if you want to jump into this draft with us, go to Underdog. Code Smitty. Link is pinned in the live chat. Code Smitty gets it done as well. And then you're going to scroll. You're going to go to the NFL tab. You're going to go to the drafts, the lobby NFL tab. You're going to scroll down to the $10 drafts. You're going to join. There's two 12-man $10 drafts under the NFL tab. You're not going to join the slow one. We're doing a fast draft. Are these 20 seconds as well?
These are 30 seconds.
You're killing me.
I don't think they have the option for 20 seconds.
Yeah, you're killing me on these. Because this is like a 45-minute endeavor. I may
didn't think about it.
I may go.
Our guys are a little bit quicker than.
Yeah, I may go like 12, 13 rounds on this one. I mean, I'll still draft, but I may not stream the whole thing. I say that and then I do it. I got the 3 pick here. I always get the 3 pick, and not that it's a $64 prize. Not that I think that's nothing, but I always get the 3 pick in these drafts, and then I get the 11 or 12 pick in the. Don't let the avatar fool you. Hell yes, never sleep on the 49ers. Such a 49er thing to say, too. You 49er fans.
Yeah,
you give up on the players so quickly, too. You guys give up on. You love your players when they're there more than anybody, any fan base I've ever seen. So I give you that, but I also will give you that when you trade them, you piss all over them. Like Debo's washed. He's done. He's so bad. He's gonna have a bad year. Make fun of Debo. Carrying extra LBs. You watch Debo rejuvenated with the better GM Adam Peters than your GM John Lynch. Who John Lynch has become a little better over the years, but Adam Peters is going to run circles around him. I mean, look what Washington did in his first year. They're literally the most exciting team in the National Football League. In the entire National Football League. Everybody wants to watch the Commanders play their team. I want to see JD5. The one thing I wish they did do, and I like Krosky Merritt a lot. I think he's intriguing, and there's a little news today that a lot of people are impressed with him so far, which I didn't cover yet. We'll cover it tomorrow, but I was surprised they didn't like take a stab at Scattaboo and you know, a couple guys. I wish they would, but I like Krosky Merritt a lot. Justin, $20 haul. I appreciate you.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Where are you at, Justin? What draft pick? 12?
Oh, I'm a 12. I'm the back.
Bijan, Chase, Lamb, Barkley, JJ, Gibbs, Rockouts in the 8 spot. Puka, Malik Neighbors to rock out. We'll see what you do here. Were you trying to say something, Travis?
No, you're.
KB.
Oh yeah, right on cue, Smitty. Kenny says, "I never liked Peters. He didn't have great drafts for us."
He didn't have great what? What'd he say? They didn't have great what?
Great draft didn't have a great draft for us. And he says, "How do you mess up the Jaden Daniels pick? Beyond that pick, the draft was met." Oh, he's saying like anyone could have taken Jaden Daniels.
Not anyone taken Jaden Daniels. People doubted Jaden Daniels, bro. Stop acting like your memories, you know.
Yeah, the Bears didn't.
I never liked Peters. He didn't have great draft for us. Peter says, Kenny, how could you be a Niner fan? You can't really. Kenny, no offense, but it's not like you don't even know the Niner football. You don't even know Niner football, bro. What do you mean he didn't have a bad draft for you? The reason you got Brock Purdy and Kittle and all these amazing players is because of Adam Peters. Do you not know this? Do you not know your own history? You don't deserve to have a Niner avatar right now, to be honest with you.
Your Bijan card has been revoked.
I'm taking away your Bijan card for that one, for that misstep. Adam Peters. Imagine not thinking Adam Peters was the reason you have Kittle or Purdy or any of those. What are you doing back there, bro?
And how can you really rank the draft in this past year until a couple of years go by? Like, Ben Sinnott could still be great.
Even better, tell me all. Even better. So, like, you don't even know what you're saying. Kenny, you're flopping with the wind. He says, even better, tell me all the great picks he had when he was with the Niners. I'm a Niner fan. Kenny, did you pick up that? Kenny just picked the Niners to be his team like 4 years ago. He's got nothing but mint, fresh jerseys.
No, when he was a kid, he picked them over his local team, so he kind of nailed that too.
I doubt it. I bet he picked them. I bet his jerseys are all crispy. I mean, just that comment alone. It didn't, to not know how to beat
the Jets and the Giants when he was little, so we picked him in Joe Montana.
Please name all the great players. I mean, we started to. We're not gonna.
Kittle and Purdy are enough. You know, from a guy who wasn't even the GM.
Mm-hmm. I don't consider you a Niner fan anymore. I'm taking away your Niner card. All right, here we go. McBride. Do it live. McBride, do it live. KB says, rate my team. I'm in the 9 pick. Let me go back, my boy, and see if I can find that draft. What was it, a weekly? Weekly winner. Weekly winner, 9 spot, 12.
Yeah, weekly.
Keegan? Was it Keegan, bro? Keegan, you have Burrow, Purdy, Flacco. Love it, but I'm not. Yeah, I like. Yeah, not necessarily needing that stack like everybody else. Like, where's Jamar Chase? You can't win with. I like it. Let's see here. CD McBride. Let's go Kyron here. CD McBride, Kyron. I like it. Very balanced. Okay, your running backs, Quinshon Judkins. Not liking your RB stable so far, Keegan. Is Keegan here? Keegan, where you at?
I think he's KB.
Oh, yeah. KB, where you? KB, okay, KB's here. Thank you, KB. Burrow, love it. Quinshon Judkins, Aaron Jones, Najee Harris, Tank Bigsby, Dylan Sampson, Jerome Ford. Not a real big fan, although like Judkins could have that week. Aaron Jones could definitely do well for a couple games. Like, there's certainly ways this could work for you, and it's weekly. So do I think this team would get crushed and demolished in a non-weekly? Yes, but in a weekly, there's some intrigue probably as we get to your receivers. Nico, St. Brown, JSN, JMO. I like it. Jonu Smith, Hunter. I mean, it lives and dies by you having all of those guys go off, and you have to have Quinshon Judkins and Bigsby or Dylan Sampson or Aaron Jones, like, just go crazy, which is possible for 1 week. I mean, we've seen some weird teams win. Thank you for the super chat. It's a good team. I would have probably gotten a little bit more balance going on, my boy. Just a little bit. I feel a little bit more comfortable with something at RB that's a little different than that. In the Garrett Wilson draft, it's a 24-team league. I know your strategy is best player available, but how would you approach this differently in a 12-team? I don't know in a 12-team. I think quarterbacks could be ultra important in this Garrett Wilson draft that we're doing, where there's 24 teams, 1 copy of every player, 1 QB, 1. We'll have more details on it for those that are interested in joining it. So hang tight on it. But it's just called the Garrett Wilson draft. It might be called something else, depending on what the prize is. Autographed Garrett Wilson jersey, it could be another prize, and we'll rename it. But I'll find out on the prize soon. But yeah, it's a 1 QB in a 24-man league, so quarterback's probably going to be pretty vital. It's 1 quarterback, 1 running back, 1 wide receiver, 1 flex, 1 tight end, and I think 3 or 4 bench spots will be. Let's see. Hampton's not bad here. Kyron Williams, CeeDee Lamb, McBride, and Hampton. It's pretty good. I hate when I love my team a lot, and then I remember I'm in a freaking $64 grand prize first place draft there, Justin.
Beautiful feeling, isn't it?
Here I think I'm going to win the, take on the world. I'm going to buy a new Can-Am with the prize money, and then I realize it's $64. Can't even fill it up with gas. Oh. Harvey in the 4th round, eh? All right. Let's see here.
Going for it, apparently.
God, even Mahomes is gone already. You guys are a bunch of sniping maniacs, bro. Jeez. Got a 7th round ADP going at the top of 5. I swear you can't have nice things. I guess I'm going.
For a second, I forgot we weren't doing weeklies when I saw Mahomes going right now.
I know, it's crazy, man. Let's go DK. So CD, Trey McBride, Kyron Williams, Amarian Hampton, and DK. I'm not gonna allow this snipage to hold me back. I'm just gonna take best player available and smash. Who else is on the phone line? Rock out. What else you got? Rock out. Hit that thumb up button if you can. Rock out. You're on mute.
You're on mute, brah.
So what are you thinking about Kittle?
It's so delayed. It's hard talking to you when you're on the other side of the moon sometimes, because it takes a while to bounce off of
All right.
Mars.
I'll try to turn it on and pick.
Enjoy the location.
What'd you say, Rock out?
What do you think about Kittle this year?
I like him. Kittle over the middle, but I do worry he gets hurt. One of these seasons, he's going to have that season where he's never healthy again. But he plays so hard, so rough.
Yeah.
He's had so many injuries, but I like him. You know, of course I like him. But I don't know, man. We'll have to see. Hold on one second. Let me just make a selection here in this other draft. I'll go Garrett Wilson here. How many best ball mania? I'm waiting on best ball manias a little bit. I'll start drafting more and more as we inch closer to June. I think June I'm gonna start unleashing them. We'll start doing more best ball manias. All right, Rock out. You're on the clock. What are you doing here? So far, you got JD5, Bucky, Trey Henderson, Neighbors, Rashee Rice. It's a good team. Juwan Jennings. I like that team.
Yeah, I got snipe on Debo. It's always that one pick right before you go.
Yep. Who am I going to take here? We've got DK, McBride, CD. I don't like these options. I don't want God when he's injured. Olave. My running backs look good here. I could take... I'm going to take him oh no, hold on. I'll go Caleb Johnson. I don't love Caleb Johnson, but I also don't hate him here. As my third back. Not bad. Do on the clock. Olave's not bad here. I find myself not drafting him ever. I just don't know who else to draft. So I have Kyron, Hampton, Caleb Johnson, CD, DK, Olave, McBride. Pretty balanced. Pretty balanced squad. Rock out. What are you going to do here?
Like to listen to the reason.
What, Travis?
Kenny doesn't like to listen to facts.
Yeah. Hey, Trey Henderson or Caleb Johnson, who's going to have a better rookie season? Henderson, in my opinion. Anything's possible, but Caleb's got more of a committee than Hendy does. There's a very easy way to determine that after the fact. A lot of people will say, he's got Ramondre. Ramondre's a threat. Ramondre's not a threat because the Patriots were not even thought to be a team that was super into the idea of, we thought, of drafting an RB really early. Like, they'd take one, but we didn't necessarily believe they would get Hendy, or we thought it would be interesting. But, and where was Ramondre going, even on the notion that they would not take an early running back? Round 9, round 8, round 10. Like, nobody thought he was a good fantasy pick, even when he was supposed to have probably no competition. But Jaylen Warren was a breakout player, so, I mean, you tell me who's supposed to be more in running back by committee land. The guy that is facing Warren, who everyone's excited about, ultra efficient player, he's the PPR guy, or Ramondre that no one even wanted to draft in like the 9th round, and Henderson's the best blocking back in the league. Incoming rookie in the league. But maybe one of the better blocking backs in the league, like, right away, too. He might be top 5, 6, 7. I mean, we'll have to see him get into his groove.
Yeah, part of the equation with their backfield, too, is, like, I think there's so little fat behind Ramondre and Henderson that we might see, like, such a high percentage of just them. Like, there's not a lot of, like, face eater in terms of, like, the opportunity sharing.
Yeah. I got Kyler McBride cuffed in this one. Kyron Hampton, Caleb, CD, DK, Olave. It's a pretty good team, actually. Kind of like it. Pretty solid.
With the Patriots, too, I think they, complement each other. They're not going to be taking situational carries from each other. There'll be enough to go around, I think. I'm interested to see how Stevenson does, because he looked really good when he was in a somewhat lesser role when Damian Harris was there. So
I'm sorry.
If he's just better served in that
I'm
role.
sorry, Walker owner. Whoever's got Walker, I don't know who has him. Hampton.
Brian in the chat. Oh, go ahead, Justin.
Something interesting when Damian Harris was on the Patriots is at one point, and for perspective, this was around like the Mac Jones, like Cam Newton years. So
yeah.
in like 15 games, Damian Harris had like 13 touchdowns, even though like the Patriots weren't that good of like an offense per se. Like they were around like average. So like imagine if like our new guy gets that,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if they're lying, which I think their line will be at least average this year, just for the changes they made. Doug Moreau is a pretty good line coach. Plus, they just have more talent on offense. I mean, their offense shouldn't be that bad. I mean, last year it was like 32 out of 32, that level of bad. They should have.
I think they're going to be around. I think they're going to be around average, like around it.
I mean, if Drake May develops, it should take quite a big step.
Hold on one second, guys. Savage.
I would say around average would be a big step, personally.
Hold on one second, guys. Savage got Harvey in a best ball dynasty 12-man PPR at 1.9. Smitty, my Aunt Edna didn't even suspect at all, bro. Yeah, man, it's awesome. You're gonna steal them away, and I've people still DMing me that they're getting Harvey at like 12 and 2.1 and 2.2. Not as many DMs though. He's going 6.7. He's almost never going before 1.7, really. So you're really getting, you're still getting a fantastic value there. I'm probably going to draft these next 2 picks, and then I'll keep drafting with you, Justin, but I'm probably going to call it just because I'm already, hour and a half in. Any final thoughts, Justin, while you're here? Anything else you want to talk about?
No, I mean, like, I think the Patriots are going to surprise people because, like, I think post Tom Brady, people aren't ready to see another quarterback be like even like very good or good. Like, when you watch Drake May's actual games, he looked really good in the games. He threw a lot of picks. I think he fumbled a couple of times, but that's because he was trying to save the team from a bad situation.
Yeah, no, Drake May's, he's set up beautifully now. He's protected by their top 10 draft pick, which, I if it was me, I wouldn't have made that pick personally. I would have traded back up and did what the Chiefs did. But it is what it is. Even screwing that up a little bit, they still had an near an A+ draft. So they protect Drake May.
They were doing themselves.
They grab
I know
Henderson.
they gotta get. Go ahead.
They grab Drake May. They grab Henderson. Make such an amazing double move there in protecting. That protects Drake May. Offensive line choice, best blocking running back in the draft class. You throw those two things together, and then you draft a receiver in Kyle Williams, who I think is crafty and could be the second or third best receiver in the draft class now with the landing spot. That does help, but he's a very, very nice, sleeper prospect for us. But you just mix all it together. It's all supporting Drake May and protecting Drake May. He's got 2 weapons and 2 pieces. 2 pieces is like the duality of it. 2 pieces of those 3 picks. Kyle Williams, offensive line, running back. 2 of those protect him, and then the overlap of Hendy protects him. Hendy and Kyle Williams help support him in scoring and moving the ball down the field. So it's like just very, very good picks. All 3 are just really, really good.
Yeah, and the lineman from Georgia is supposed to be pretty good too. Center and swing out to guard some, and so they did good work in the draft.
Something I would add too is, like, when your first round and your second round both come from like very prolific programs like LSU and Ohio State, and like these are guys that their character was kind of applauded in huge ways, but they're still very talented. That's important when you're like starting from the place that the Patriots are starting from. At least in my opinion.
All right, my boy. Anything else, man?
Nope, I appreciate opportunity to draft with you fellas, and I'll call it
all right, bro.
Myself.
All right, appreciate you. I'll finish this draft out. Obviously, I'm not gonna let it go crazy. I like the team so far. It's a really weird team, like a really solid team that I'm building here. Kyler, Kyron, Hampton, Caleb, Zach Charbonnet, Tootin, Lamb, DK, Olave, McBride, Tucker, Kraft. Pretty good. I like it. All right, rock out. Final thoughts, my boy.
What kind of year you think Beckett's going to have with Vegas?
Besh?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
What'd you say, Beckett? Besh, yeah.
Yeah, Besh.
I rock out, just adding words or letters to his name.
Yeah.
The Besh, a.k.a. Beckett, I think he probably has like a 800 or 900 yard 5 TD season, maybe 6 TD. Like what I expect though is there'll be a certain amount of like consistency at some point. I just don't know if it'll be right away. I don't know if he finds that consistency early. I mean, he could be like a 906 guy or something like that. I mean, it's possible, but I think he's probably better suited for like a 800 yard expectation, a 4 or 5 touchdown expectation. Certainly capable of it. I really like Besh a lot in this situation. I think he's probably some will still love Jacoby Myers, but have you noticed you haven't heard a single Jacoby Myers like truther lately? It's been real quiet on the Jacoby Myers front. Not that he's, not that Besh like took him out or anything, but it's like, remember how everybody's like, he's so low on him, Smitty. Like, he's a top 10 receiver. What are you doing? Like, I haven't heard anybody. They're gone. They're gone.
Yep.
All right. Appreciate you, Rock out.
All right.
Later, bro. Travis, final thoughts?
Yeah, so Brian Wild in the chat, he was asking about if there's any different strategy when you do one of these cash games as opposed to a tournament best ball, or if you draft the same way, or I guess maybe because you're facing less people.
Not really.
And he was asking, do you take 3 quarterbacks? Is 2 okay? I guess he wants your opinion on that.
I'm same format, same build. Like, I'm always gonna go 3 quarterbacks, 3 tight ends, and then just the combination of the balance of receiver and running back depends on how strong the starters are. But I try and balance it perfectly. But the only thing that changes is that I know I'm in Snipe City. So I know I'm going to be, like, for example, right there, Tank Bigsby getting taken from me if I wanted him bad enough. And I don't necessarily need it because look how many running backs I have. But I need to take him before he gets sniped. Like, just stuff like that. But I don't think... Let's grab... I'm going to time out, so I just got to grab somebody. I don't think anything changes other than your expectation. Like for example, I don't ever draft Olave. I don't really ever draft Caleb Johnson. I don't really ever draft Kraft. Like, a lot of these guys just kind of fell, and I'm taking advantage of taking players I normally don't take, just because I'm going to see a lot of.
I guess he said. Yeah, he just said. I guess he didn't do well with him last year. He said he loves doing them, and he said I had a lot of 2 QB and 2 tight end last year because I got studs and it screwed me. Which, goes to the point you make on the 3 and 3.
Yeah, don't
take the injury and the bye. You're in trouble.
And don't think because you went stud quarterback that you can't do that again. That's not why it didn't work. You missed on the wrong guy like Mahomes or something like that. Like, I'm still taking Mahomes all day, but just know that, like, you having 3 of them helps you get with the rotation. Especially if you're choosing like Dak, and then you get like I'm taking, and Bully QB is really good in best ball. I think Dak is, and Bully QB works even almost a little better probably in these leagues because you don't separate later and face a lot of other Bully QB teams. Like, right in weeks 1 through 14 in a traditional best ball draft, you're the only bully, or you're the one deploying Bully QB in your group of 12. Maybe somebody else does it, but you do it the best. Let's say you got the best 2. You're going to take them out weeks 1 through 14 potentially if it lands. And then when you get into the next round, you might be grouped with 2 other Bully QB teams that have the same players or better. So in a format like this, Bully QB is pretty good because you're taking out an option for the other 11 opponents who you're facing weeks 1 through 17. So to answer your question, that might be one other strategy that I really like going into a non-best ball huge contest where you're just going like $100 buy-in against 11 other people. Winner takes all at the end of week 17. Like, that might be a good approach. You do a lot of bully quarterback. Justin also said that he looks at one that's been sitting there marinating a while, and like he'll go into a 1-versus-1, and somebody will be sitting there, and he'll notice that it's been there for a while, and then he'll jump in, and the person's not ready. He just goes through the draft. So that's also another idea, I guess. All right, Travis. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks, Smitty. Talk to you later. Bye.
I'll see you on Patreon if you're there. Everybody go over to Patreon. Patreon is the place where we do it live after the show. Live chatting 24/7, 365, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. And don't forget thefantasyfootballshow.com. Don't forget that, you know, you can get year-round content over there on thefantasyfootballshow.com. Put always 3 QBs in. Yeah, I always go 3 QBs and 3 tight ends, bro. Always. It's important. It's really important. Like right here, I've got Kyler and Tua. Doesn't mean I can't go like risky with a Milrow, but you want to have another option. Because think about it. Your tight end goes down, or I'm sorry, your quarterback goes down. Like let's say Tua went down. I've got Tua and Kyler. If Tua goes down, then if Kyler has a bye or, you know, whatever, you're screwed there. See you all later. And it just gives you a nice rotation of ability to outscore everybody else by having 3. And it's the most high-scoring position in best ball. See you all. Appreciate you. Hit that thumb up button on the way out the door. I'm live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday. Live additionally whenever big news breaks, and live most graveyard shifts at midnight Eastern like this one right here. See you all tomorrow. See you on Patreon. I'm going over there right now. Links in the description. Here's the Patreon link right now. Going over there now. Deuces.
Your Bijan card has been revoked.